Hi, my name is Martin Hendel. I'm from St. Thomas, Ontario. I play for the St. Thomas Club, or represent the St. Thomas Club, and I'm sponsored by Innova. And today I came in with a negative 14.
Hey, I'm Andrew Leyland from Fawn Hill, Ontario, and starting score was minus 12.
Hello, my name is Calvin Roorda. I'm from Toronto Island, or have Toronto Island as my home course, and I'm starting at negative 11.
Hi, I'm Chris Towe. I'm from Toronto, and my starting score was minus 11.
Lead card, MPO, final round of the 2025 Ontario Provincial Disc Golf Championship, presented by Discraft.
Hello and welcome to the 2025 Ontario Provincial Championship. This is round 3, Championship Sunday. We have Martin Hendel, Andrew Leyland, Calvin Roorda, and Chris Towe. Hole 1, 446 feet. It goes from left to right, rather. Andrew with missing it. Martin throwing a beautiful shot straight down the pipe. Calvin going up and over. And it comes back down.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been there.
Chris trying to do the same thing. Not quite as wide, a little bit higher. Baits out earlier, hit some trees.
Yeah.
Got to see where they all land. Andrew trying to go an overhand to see what he can get out of this disc. How early he hit the trees. Chris ends up being up on top of the hill. Andrew Leyland throwing a beautiful turnover to try and make up into circle 1. Martin, where he landed at the bottom of the hill, throwing a roller. Also looks like he makes it to circle 1. Good roller. Calvin and Martin were very different on their drives, but were like 3 feet apart from each other where they landed.
Hey.
Beautiful upshot from Calvin. Trees stopping Chris from going where he wanted to go, giving us a long look for par. Just missing. It sits. And Martin missing a putt that's rare for Martin Hendel. He's a very good putter normally, very consistent. Andrew's just a little low. And a beautiful birdie from Calvin.
This hole needs Mando. Put a Mando on this hole.
Calvin not agreeing that he should be able to do the big forehand drive he did. Another miss from Martin means he has to take a bogey to start, and a bogey from Chris Towe. And a bogey from Andrew to finish off. We have 3 bogeys, 1 birdie. And this hole on the day finished exactly at par with 7 birdies and 7 strokes above par spread across the group for the MPO. Hole 2, 213 feet. It's straight, but it is a tight gap.
Oh, yes, sir.
And a double tree hit from Calvin, leaving him not too bad. Martin just kissing a tree there. Needed a little bit more flip from his drive. Andrew getting a really bad kick. Chris not loving his throw, but he doesn't kick off that bad. Andrew trying to make something happen, trying to throw in from 100 feet out. Martin just laying up nicely at the base. Chris laying up as well right beside him. And Calvin applying pressure early with 2 birdies back to back. Beautiful drive, beautiful putt from Calvin, as he gets the only birdie on the card with 3 pars besides him. This hole came in one of the easier holes. It was .25 under par. There was 5 birdies on the day and 1 bogey. So not a awful hole, but definitely tight lines. Calvin setting it a little bit high, getting some trees on this hole 3, which is 394 feet, 120 meters, par 4. It goes straight over the hill and then hangs a right. Much like hole 1, Martin and Andrew both hitting trees. Chris being a little early on his release, hitting some trees. Beautiful turnover. I think that was his Mako from Martin.
Yeah.
Great forehand from Andrew. Forehand from Chris with his Firebird. Calvin tries to do a backhand turnover, hits something. Martin like 100 feet up the hill and sinks it. Beautiful shot from Martin, claiming a birdie on this hole, putting the pressure on for everybody else, bringing himself back to even. Andrew tries to copy him, and oh no. Hits a rock, disc stands up and rolls away. Calvin also tries to copy Martin, throwing it in. Just hits the cage. Chris had a bad kick off his second shot. Beautiful third recovery. Andrew missing his putt again.
Make sure you get the right.
Calvin cleans up a par. Chris cleaning up his par. And a bogey from Andrew. Not what he want, but let's see this beautiful birdie again from Martin. He steps in front of the shot for the middle, but we see the start, we see the end, we know what happens. We can fill in the rest. Beautiful. This hole came in a little over par. 2 birdies, 7 bogeys on the day. Came in at .438. Hole 4, 230 feet. Martin, beautiful backhand turnover. It's par 3. Calvin, beautiful backhand turnover. Chris also going for the backhand turnover. With the ladies, we watched a couple of them try and do some, or not try, a couple of them were doing some forehands, but all the guys are trying this backhand turnover. Andrew just hitting another tree. Not what you're looking for. Beautiful shot up the hill from Calvin, bringing himself to -3 on the round. Oh. Very similar miss that we saw with the ladies, except that they'd hit a tree and were able to save that par pretty easy. That's not what you want. Martin sinking another birdie. Birdie from Chris, bringing himself back to even. Andrew cleaned up his double bogey. So this hole came in also exactly at par with 6 birdies and 5 bogeys. Andrew's being a double bogey. Hole 5, 482 feet, par 3. The basket is up right at underneath those last maple trees. So you really want something that goes wider than what Martin threw. A little bit wider than what Calvin threw as well, or something that'll stand up for you. But he kind of misses some trees where Martin hit the branches. Still had leaves on them. Here's a beautiful drive from Chris. Driven, just lots of glide, straight, just a little bit of finish. Andrew throws higher, a little bit more of a flip up, but a very similar result, and they'll both be happy with those throws. Those are great. Martin from 100 feet out, and tosses it in once again. Martin just putting the pressure on everybody.
Stop it. Stop. Enough is enough.
Calvin tell him that's enough throw-ins. Trying to make a throw-in of his own, but just missing. Little low for Chris. Little left from Andrew. They clean up their pars. This hole, it was pretty close to being even. Another par. There was 2 bogeys, 1 birdie on the day, so it comes in at .06. So just off of being par, but not a bad hole 5. Pretty much everyone else just gets pars. Hole 6, 491 feet. This first drive is just see how far you can throw the disc. Try and give yourself an easy second shot for a layup. Par 4. Really wide shot, but that's okay. Beautiful shot from Chris. Getting some nice skip off the top of the hill. And Andrew releases a little bit of hyzer, but gets some very nice flip ups. Calvin throws over the hill. This is a tough hill to try and judge where the top of the hill is. Chris disappointed with feeling a little bit short, but Andrew just over the hill, but beautiful recovery. Oh, off the cage and rolls away. No, that's not what you want, Chris. Bystander's like, I better get out of the way. And Calvin getting another birdie. And Martin already had a turkey and says, you know what, let's make it 4 in a row. And a bogey from Chris and a par from Andrew to finish off this hole. 2 birdies, 1 bogey, 1 par. This hole ended up at .56 under par with 10 birdies. One of the most birdied holes on the day and only 1 bogey. So very well done from the field. Hole 7, 336-foot par 3, straight ahead, wide open. One of the easier holes. Most of these guys are throwing putters or mids, but it's really just, can you get close without rolling away? Little short, little hyzered out from Calvin. We all thought that was going in on the day, but a little bit short. And Chris's kind of rolls down the hill like we talked about. He makes a safe bid that just misses, but real short, so it's good. Martin checking the wind by the basket. Also missing his putt. But Martin saves his par, so that's good. Good recovery. Andrew getting a birdie. That's the color he's looking for on his card. Finally joins everybody else getting some birdies as Chris and Calvin clean up their hole with some pars. Beautiful shot from Andrew. Hole 7 came in at .375 under par with 6 pars on the day. 6 birdies on the day. No bogeys. Hole 8, 556 feet. You can see those leafless bushes on the right by the fence. That fence is a relief area. So if you go through it, into it, it's not an OB stroke. So you're really just trying to get up as far as you can and want to stay a little bit away from that. The hole curves to the left, the end. Huge turn. I think that was unexpected turn from Chris. Puts him in the relief area.
Oh, yeah.
But great second shot from Chris. Calvin making a good second shot. And Martin just perfectly placing it up there. Andrew had the biggest drive, gets rewarded with a nice easy chip shot, and flashes the basket. Calvin missing his birdie shot. As Martin, Chris, and Andrew all get their birdies. Calvin tapping out his par. Hole 8 came in at .312 under par with 8 birdies and 3 bogeys for the day. only one hole was really that much over par today. That was hole 3, which we did see. Andrew, beautifully driving this. Hole 9 is 639 feet, 195 meters. It's par 4. Starts just driving down this golf green or golf fairway, and then the basket is tucked off to the right. So this first drive is just trying to chunk some distance to try and make your second shot easier, if possible. A little left for Chris, and Calvin trying to get throw a turnover, but comes a little bit too far left. I kind of missed most of Chris's shot there, but it does make it up to the rocks. Calvin making a good second shot as well. Andrew throwing it up onto that little hill, but Martin really showing what you're trying to do, just throwing it into those rocks, using those rocks as a break. But Andrew says no worries, cleans up his birdie, giving himself a turkey. And we have a first star frame. Well done, lads, as they all clean up their birdies. Hole 9 also came in at negative .312 with 10 birdies and 3 bogeys on the day. So, again, another hole that's well under par. That's the front 9. Thank you so much for joining us. Martin and Calvin both showing blistering rounds at -5. Calvin keeping his clean, no red on his card yet. Chris is sitting at -1, and Andrew's at +1. Stay tuned, stick around for back 9 coverage of the Ontario Provincial Championships MPO 2025. My name is Jared, and thanks for watching.